This is typical underlayment underneath concrete tiles. It's just a felt paper will last 15-20 years. It's being nailed down by some batten boards, and the concrete tiles kind of hang on top of the batten boards up there. We need a space in there so if any water does get past the concrete tiles, it can drain down the side. So I check a few places like that on the roof. Something I wanted to show you today is this is called a dead valley, or a mineral paper cap sheet in this area. This is a thicker material. This is basically one big asphalt shingle. It's a lot more durable than underlayment underneath the concrete tile. They also use this mineral paper cap sheet. Just see, it looks like they patched it here. Probably leaked. This is a cricket. It's got a little bit of a hump to it, so water can flow off that way and that way during a rain. But then they also put that same material underneath the tiles on this, up on the tower. This is very complicated, so using felt paper, it doesn't make a lot of sense. They want to use something that's a little bit more durable underneath there, that's going to last a lot longer, and they don't have to risk getting water leaks in it. So they use a thicker material, the mineral paper cap sheet. Should get 15-20 years out of it. You see, these are always a good place to check while we're inspecting, because they got to make a lot of cuts on these tiles to make all these fit right. They never quite fit perfectly. This is called bird blocking. This is put in to help stop birds from going back underneath the concrete tile. And then you've got your metal drip edge, so water, if it runs down, it's going to come out that little lip and then drip down and hopefully stay away from that stucco. We've got a kick out flashing here, which is going to take all the water runoff that came around that dome, and instead of pushing it back into the stucco, it's going to angle it out about 45 degrees, so the water is going to come down, land down here, so it stays away from the stucco. Once we get water behind the stucco, it can get pretty messy. We're back here in this beautiful backyard. I wanted to note some drainage issues. So we've got a big patio back here. We've got a lot of paver stones put in. What that does, they've got this angled back so water doesn't build up next to the house, which is great. But where's it going to go after that? The water is going to go out here to the fence, to the wall, and it's graded pretty much at an angle all the way from the house to the wall. So all the water is going to travel, hit that wall, and stop. And then gravity's going to take it underground. Now, instead of having it go and hit this wall, we really need it to have a swale dug in right in the middle of this alley to go to the front. Careful, this cactus here, it's pretty sharp. Got to get it around to the front. We've got a drain in the wall that drains to the front of the house. That's where everything in this property drains. Nothing in the backyard has any way to get moisture or water built up out. So that tree is actually right in a drainage swale. So is this cactus, so is that tree. There's not a lot of room back here, so you're gonna plant something, but if you've got drainage issues, water built up in the backyard, opening this swale up would definitely help direct water off. Now, actually, I'm not even going to recommend that to my clients today. I'm going to recommend gutters. These are beautiful trees. I don't want to tear all this up. But the reason I'm recommending gutters, I know it's Arizona, it's crazy, it doesn't get much water, but this stucco covered concrete block wall, CMU block wall, is starting to see a lot of flaking on it. There's a lot of step cracking right there, right there. You can see this is settled right here. So this whole wall is shifted down. When you get a step crack like that, that just means that there's some settling going on. That cap block is cracking. So this wall is seeing a lot of moisture. And we need to get that moisture out of the backyard. So the best way would be to get it all going to the front yard, or put some gutters on. That's the same way on the other side of the property. Some beautiful vegetation here. Got to be careful with the vegetation not to overwater. You're going to get rust spots on your weep screed. The weep screed is just a piece of metal with holes in it down here, so if if the stucco does get water behind it, the water is going to drain out those little holes right there. Sometimes we see rust like that from leaky windows. Quite often it's just from overwatering irrigation, vegetation, which I'm contributing to that today. This vegetation is way too close to the house. Termites are going to get right into that wood and they could get into your house. Just don't like to see it like that. Now the same thing with the drainage on the west side of the property. We've got this beautiful walkway put in here. I don't want anybody to tear that out. It looks beautiful. Let's just put some rain gutters up there. Get that water out from back here. You get the water to travel to the front. You don't have to worry about the grading back here. You don't have to worry about the drainage swale that got covered up by this. You do have moisture retention right here. There's no drainage on this flower bed against the wall. And we've got the same issue with some of the rust staining in some of this area. But I just want to see this open. This is supposed to drain out to the street. Now the landscapers don't think about that. They're thinking about putting in a beautiful walkway. And depending on how the water builds up in this backyard, my guess is it's going to build up quite a bit because there's absolutely no drainage. I would just stick a couple gutters up on the top to help get the water out of here before it even gets down to the ground. Really cool pet door, but you've got exposed wood. Termites are gonna love that. Termites are gonna get right into that at some point. So that's grading and drainage in Goodyear. Thanks for watching. I'm Home Inspector Dan. I'll see you next time.